Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Scourge League 3.16. In this episode, I have the budget build for the Carrion Golems, and not only is it the budget build, guys, it's everything. Budget build, upgrade, 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 all the way to where I'm at. I have 5 or 6 POBs, level 68, 87, 97, 98, a 98 upgrade, and then an upgrade to my build. And I talk through it, all of it, 29 minutes. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, I want to start it off by showing off this really cool POB that I have. I started off the build. I was like, okay, what is the earliest I want to recommend the Carrion Golems for people getting into them with our recommended items and how it all looks. So basically, it's kind of squishy, but we got the deeps and it'll feel absolutely amazing. So here we go. This is level 68, only 68. So you're pretty much at the end, you're at Kitava, or you just beat Kitava, right? And you're at maps. You could even be 70 just so that you can wear level 20 gems properly. But basically, this was the best I could do with fitting in the 4 gems and having all the minion stuff you want and having all the attributes and having everything I wanted to make this feel insane when you first come in. I didn't want to skimp on this, and I wanted you to come in feeling amazing. So, cold iron points, golem jewels, that's all the build is. Stay tuned. I have about 6 more POBs. I'm going to be going through them, but I want to go through them in order. So stay tuned till the end, and yeah, we'll be going through like 87, 97, 98, then scaling up the items with the level, and oh my god, it's insane, dude. And then I take it all the way to where I am right now. It took a while. I woke up early this morning, boys, but level 68, this is what I'm looking at. So we got all the masteries that we want. The minions are at 83 res with the extra Commander of Darkness, 73 chaos, and our damage was 3.2 million. Our defenses are looking at 11,000, 16, 11. It's pretty squishy because we only have 2,700 life, but we're just at maps. We're only 68. And then it'll be a Carrion Golem build. So like we're Carrion Golem 6 link. I didn't mean to do that. I put a 21 Carrion to show that you could do this. You have to be 72 for that though. But you'd have your 21 Carrion, and then 21 is the upgrade. It's not that expensive, so it's actually worth it over everything else. So Brutality, Multistrike, Minion damage, melee, phys, ruthless. We don't run Impale because we don't have the cluster, and yeah, we don't, so we run Ruthless, no Impale support, and we don't run Dread Banner, we run War Banner because we don't have the cluster in the beginning. When you first get the cold iron points and the golem jewels, you don't have the cluster, so you can't get 100% Impale, so I recommend Ruthless War Banner, and it'll feel good. And then you'll want to get the 100% Impale, obviously, and you'll want to go Impale and Dread Banner, but for now. So then in the weapon 2, I did Pride, Zombie, Minion Life, vulnerability in weapon 1 with flesh offering desecrate. So you vulnerability bosses and you desecrate on a boss and you flesh offering a boss. The reason you desecrate is for the corpse, and then you desecrate again, and then you flesh offering for the consume and the flesh offering, obviously. So it's not manual in the beginning. I mean, it's not automatic, it's all manual. So I'm just explaining. War Banner setup, Generosity, then we have Skitterbot, Unbound Ailments. Helmet is our Spectre, Feeding Frenzy, Minion Life, Maim. So I'm going to have my Spectre maiming, and I found this kind of funny. I guess you could also put the Pride in the weapon and the maim here to maim with the zombie. It doesn't matter, dude, in my opinion. But they both have Minion Life, and it's sick. No AG in the beginning. This is mostly just the cold iron points and the golem jewels and getting it all fit together so that we can then scale it into the next POBs that I have. Cast from damage taken, Immortal Call. We did Immortal Call in the beginning because you don't have really high armor, because you don't have determination in the beginning. We're rocking a 29% unreserved, 168 mana. It's nice so we can cast our shit and not feel stupid. And then increased duration phase run. This setup is something I figured out later, and so it makes you have a pretty high dex requirement, but the phase run doesn't get linked to the cast from damage taken at level 4. It's too high. And then the Immortal Call gets automated with the cast from damage taken. The increased duration increases the duration of the Immortal Call, and it's not too high mana for how much mana we have, so it's perfect. Then I have Flame Dash and Convocation. We were able to fit Convocation in for people who like it. And then it's just a bone helmet, and it's just oh, this is just a 6-link with life and res. It's corrupted just to show that you could buy a shit 6-link just to get an early 6-link when you get to maps. And then it's just life and reses. You can use divine orbs to craft endurance charges on your rings if you go to somebody who already has the craft. It's minimum endurance charge, very good for your defense. Basically your biggest weakness, and it's just a divine orb. I did this in my Skelly build, so that was before I even swapped to Carrion Golems. Like, you're getting golem jewels and things. Divine orb is nothing. It's really good. You have to get the craft from June Unveil, suffix. Then we have Taunt Blind, Ghastly Jewel, and a Stygian Vice. I found the Stygian Vice a big upgrade because you could run a Ghastly and Taunt Blind with the how fast these attack. 8 attacks per second. Yep. The Spectres, 2 Carnage Chieftains, 2 Host Chieftains, but you don't have 2 Host Chieftains yet. You'll just have 1, so it's 2 Carnage Chieftains, 1 Host Chieftain, and we don't need lifetap anymore. And you get them from Old Fields Act 2 for Carnage and Ashen Fields Act 7 for Host Chieftain. And yeah, there's no AG in this one. I'll show you in the next one. And then the Flask, I did an instant life with Bleed Immune, because this will kill you, and Corrupted Blood, and then Freeze Immune Granite, and then we have a Jade Flask with Shock Immune, and we have the fast Quicksilver, and then we have this Sapphire Flask for the physical taken as cold. This can really help our physical defenses in the beginning, because just like the endurance charges, biggest weakness. We have no armor. It's really, really bad. So just straight up conversions and flat mitigation, great. And yeah, instant is going to be our main recovery source because we have very bad regen. We have 2700 life, and this heals for an instant 700 or whatever. It's amazing. It's really fun. Yep. I upload daily. Please like and subscribe. The ascendancies went Mindless Aggression, Unnatural Strength, then Commander of Darkness, and then Plaguebringer. You probably won't have Plaguebringer right away, so this would be the one that you would cut in the beginning for now, like until you get it, because you're only 68, and then you would get it after when you get your offering and you go do your lab at like 80 something. POB number 2. So now we're rocking a good 5 million damage, right? This is pretty good. We're getting up there. 3,300 life. We got a lot more life. Now we have 18,000 armor, but that was with Flask, so let me disable them. It doesn't add that much because we don't have increased armor yet, because we're still not. So anyways, 18,000. I'll do it without. So we have the 14,000. This was the determination thing. Let me show the 87 though. Let me explain. So from 68 to 87, we were able to gain this extra life mana. We were able to gain the extra life and mana reservation for determination. A jewel socket with this life. We were able to take a cluster jewel socket, as you can see here, and then we also grabbed an entire cluster, so we got an 8 passive skill item level 75 for this Rotting Claw's Vicious Bite. Technically it can also be Rotting Claw's Renewal. The Renewal is similar damage and it has 1% regen for the minions, but it is slightly less damage, so I recommended Vicious Bite here instead. Both are good, and obviously a triple notable is even better. Rotting Claw's Vicious Bite Renewal, because it's the same amount of points, 7 points, and you get an extra notable. But then I put in here a Born of Chaos, small cluster, and this it has no mods on it, just Born of Chaos, and this 2 passive, small cluster, Chaos Res, and this gives us 3 max Chaos, and we already did the Zabakwa. So if you don't know, Glorious Vanity in the name of Zabakwa gives you the keystone for Divine Flesh, and this Divine Flesh makes all damage bypass energy shield, so we don't have energy shield anymore. And then 50% of elemental damage is taken again as chaos, and we have 83 chaos, and then we actually have 5 to max chaos res, so we go to 83 with the 5 max here and the 3 max here, and that's why we do it, 83 chaos. So you can already tell that we were able to fit a lot more stuff with those levels, and what we were able to do is pretty good. Also, because we did a cluster with Rotting Claws, we were able to now go Impale support instead of Ruthless, and we were able to go Dread Banner instead of War Banner. And because of the mana reservation efficiency of the determination, we were able to fit in this determination. And the extra levels and the extra mana makes it so that our less mana reserved actually has a lot more mana. Like, we have more mana, more flat mana. That's pretty good. We, at 87, upgraded the helmet to an Elder helmet, which gets us, we go for minion life 20. Socketed gems are supported by minion life 20. Using pristine fossils, you can roll for minion life and life. And then we got, because of that, we don't have to put minion life in the helmet, so we were able to get the Animate Guardian in. I have a video on the Animate Guardian. Thank you to Patreon and YouTube members: Steven C, Hannes, Brandon, George, Logan, Rico549, The Chrome Dog, Garbar, Neon, Tridentix, Nicholas, White Wolf, Pascal. Alright, so yeah, I was able to fit the Animate Guardian into the build instead of the minion life because of the helmet. And get it at 21. You could also get it at 20. It's probably fine because it gets all the levels from the cold iron points. It's really sick in that way. For this build. And then the Animate Guardian in this one specifically is the Intimidate weapon, my 15C budget Animate Guardian with the Intimidate weapon and the Culling Strike. It doesn't have the Kingmaker, but it has the nearby enemies take 9% increased physical damage helmet. So you should check out the 15C budget Animate Guardian, and then you can go into the more expensive one later. But in the beginning I did that one for the Intimidate because we don't have the Awakened melee physical for the chance to Intimidate. Then next, I was able to, now that we had Determination in the build, I switched to Val Molten Shell with the 14,000 consistent armor without flask. This is disgusting. Cast when damage taken with a level 10 Val Molten Shell, increased duration, and the phase run setup. Very cool. Val Molten Shell costs less mana than the Immortal Call, so that's also nice. And then we have Flame Dash and Determination. This one's supposed to be socketed in the ring, but I forgot when I was making the POB. Items, the upgrades was the Elder Bone Helmet so that it can get minion life. We crafted a +2. It's a +2. I have a video on crafting the +2 body armor, but this is the +3, so the extra strength gems helps. But the main reason you do this is for active skill gems and intelligence skill gems. This is 2 levels to Carrion Golem. The strength skill gems gives a level to the supports. And this one's an int, this one's strength, this one's a dex, so it actually doesn't get one from strength. So it's pretty cool. That does add extra damage, the extra level on your support gems. It's kind of cool. You don't have to go for the extra strength, but I showed it here. And then just life res move speed. Here is +1 int Citronami. And then I also show that instead of doing, I showed before that we would do a small for destructive aspect to reduce the mana cost, mana reserve of the pride. Now we just do a straight up anoint on charisma because the gold oil price went down because of the state of the season, the point of the season that we're at. And so you can just anoint charisma on your +1 intelligence skill gems Ami, which this is like 1,000 alterations by the way to roll a +1 intelligence skill gems Ami, just to prepare. So you can use harvest spams on this. Every time you get a harvest craft, just use it on a hunter Ami looking for +1 intelligence skill gems, and it'll be like 1,000 tries, and then eventually you'd hit it, and it's free if you don't have anything else to craft on. And you could just use any craft. Yeah, there's nothing to target intelligence skill gems except for maybe faceted fossils, and it's just not worth it. So usually people do alterations, and it's like 1,000. So just prep yourself for that. Life reses, and then you can craft the endurance charges. I crafted strength here, and I'd used a catalyst, attribute catalyst on these two. This life reses, then the same taunt light, blind ghastly jewel, and I show the large small cluster. So we were able to get the 100% impale. We're able to get the extra max chaos res. Then the tankiness of this is now looking at 11,000 physical. So all the physical still our issue, even with the determination. That's why the flasks. I'll show you. You click these 3 and 16,000, 59, 40. It helps a lot. But yeah, that's even with the high armor and the and the Val Molten Shell. You're still pretty squishy against physical. So then we will be upgrading the build even more. But to show you the upgraded defenses, and we got more damage, and we have more life, and this is how you are starting to upgrade the build. Next one, 97. Here we go, level 97. Okay. So, we're rocking the 2.5 per. This is 10 million DPS. We got the Zabakwa. We're double, small, triple, small. We got 89 chaos, 3,800 life, 10 million damage. 19,000 armor. That's with flask. Let me disable. Okay, so yeah, we're res cap with the 89 chaos, 15,000 armor, and to show 2120 Carrion Golem upgrade now, Divergent multi, but then this is showing with Awaken Gems and some other upgrades that I've made. So upgrade to Awaken Gems with the chest plate, you only need to get them to level 4, and they actually get the bonus of level 5 because of the +1 to the strength gems if you do that, and the +1 to int for the minion damage. If you had Dex, it works on Impale, but yeah. And then the Carrion Golem in this one now is 34. So this one, 97, a lot more skill points. You're able to take out some of the other stuff, repath it. As you can see, I added in the extra smalls, so we have the 89% chaos. We went to 2 mediums, so we have the renewal dread march, and so we don't need the survivability from sacrifice because we have the regen here. And so we took out all this. We don't need grave pact because they're level 34 and they have really high accuracy, and because of the cold iron points, and we have the extra chance to deal double damage from here, so we don't, it's the same as grave pact. And then we did down here because it's life and armor. We have a little bit less regen than doing combat stamina, but really your survivability is off of like the life flask and killing anyways. So like the 100 regen doesn't make that big of a difference. And I played this, it was mostly just spamming the life flask and not getting hit, and then when we do get hit, we're just healing up on our flask that doesn't get used. Yeah. So then we saw the +2 chest plate, Elder Bone Helmet. Here I upgraded to a Carrion Golem enchant, so I'm showing that you could get an Elder Bone Helmet with Carrion Golem enchant then. 40% increased golem damage, really sick. You can craft 20 on the glove if you had better items that you could have an open prefix and not need to craft a suffix on this. You can get Endurance Charge, Endurance Charge, Endurance Charge for 12% physical damage reduction and the 12% LE res. Then we got... Yeah, we're still getting freeze and shock immune through flask. Now this is the 89, and we're tankier, and we're laughing. We got an extra endurance charge. We got all the extra damage. We get the... This is how you scale from the other one into tankier and more damage and everything. It's just spending more, obviously. And we're still not spending massive because we didn't have to buy the Awaken Multi. Yeah, so in this same spot where we upgraded to the Awaken Gems, you can actually, this is when you could do the Convoking Wands, and people ask. But real quick, before we get into the wand, I want to talk about the Animate Guardian. So technically, because you got the Awaken Melee Phys level 4 that gets you level 5 from the chest plate, and it gives you Intimidate, you don't need the Intimidate from the budget Animate Guardian weapon. So now you can go the Kingmaker and the more expensive garb of the ephemeral Kingmaker Animate Guardian. So I would recommend this is the point you would upgrade that, and I didn't mention it till later in the video, so I wanted to edit it in here. Now I'll show you actually in POB. 2462 with the double Convoking Wand +2 minion attack speed. If you did double Convoking Wand, 2495. So 2 cold iron points is slightly better than a +2 with minion attack speed in this exact spot of the build, which is pretty incredible. That's how powerful the +3 is. So that's saying that the +1 extra level is slightly more powerful than the 15% attack speed. Then if you did the minion damage, so if you had an open prefix, but this is double prefix already, to get an open prefix is really hard. The minion, the open suffix is way easier, especially you can use harvest to keep prefix. So this, with the open suffix, yeah, get the minion attack speed, it's very close, and then the benefit is that it gives levels to everything, like, and this is now your Carrion's only 32 instead of 34, and like your AG gets 2 less levels, but the benefit is your zombie gets a level extra levels, and so this you get an extra zombie and Spectre. When you get to level 25 Spectre, you get an extra Spectre. So with level 25 Spectre and Death Attunement, you're getting 4 Spectres. So you can use the 2 Carnage, 2 Host, Chieftains, Monkeys, which is a big upgrade, which is sick. So that's why we like to do the wand upgrades. And then these were only like 3x, where the cold iron points are like 10c, and they were 1.5x at the beginning of the league, and that's why they're so expensive at the beginning of the league. But now to show you this build's current defenses and what it's rocking. So yeah, we had the upgrade there, and the rest is we went to the +2 Ami. So you did the Awakener Orb Ami +2, and I did that was and the minion damage on the glove. Yeah. And then with this, now we're at 18,000, 62, 78, 66. So we're tankier to LE and Chaos because we upped it to 89 now. And then we have more physical because extra skill points into increased armor down here. Then we have this upgrade, 98, and this one's trying to fit in Vitality. So taking the same thing, we lose a little bit of damage, but we got to 300 regen. From our 30 or whatever, garbage regen to 300 is insane. So Vitality, mana reservation efficiency of skills, and we also basically the same shit as you can see. It's pretty cool that I was able to do this. What we had ended up doing is this was the zombie swap, so you swap zombie into the helmet, and it gets the minion life from the helmet. You drop maim, so that's why we lost some damage. We gain a bunch of sockets, so I was able to do Pride, Determination, Enlighten in the weapon. Enlighten 3 works. You don't need an Enlighten 4 for this. Then you can do Vitality. So all you needed was an Enlighten on these two with an Enlighten 3, and the Vitality mana reservation efficiency for the Vitality, and you get, boom, Vitality. Yep, you don't have lifetap on your offering, but it isn't trigger yet, so don't worry about it. This is just these ones. And then this is the same. Oh, I also got, so this is the only thing though, to be able to do an Enlighten 3 instead of an Enlighten 4, and I don't even think I think you need this. So you have to do you know how you did the Ami for the +2? Well, you do the same thing for this helmet, for the minion life and the mana reservation efficiency of skills, which is a Redeemer mod, and you slam those together. Minion life 20 and 10% mana reservation. It rolls, I believe, from 7 to 10%, and then you would have to define it to 20 to 10% mana reservation efficiency of skills. Mine, I have a Maven version, which is 14%, but you don't need it. 10%'s fine. This is really cool, and that's how we did it. This is a pretty big upgrade, but to be able to gain that kind of regen in our build is amazing. And then I show that on the chest plate. Wait, why is it not there? It didn't save? Why didn't it save? Oh, I put it here. Yeah, that's my bad. Fixed. Okay, so I show that you could take the other chest plate and with the prefix you could try, like, you could do suffixes can't be changed, and then you could do a June unveil and go for a 50-50 where you hope it doesn't remove your +1 active skill gems, and then you could try to unveil avoid LE ailments if you're trying to get ailment immunity and it's really expensive for some reason, trying to do it other ways. You could also do the reducing the duration of the elemental ailments on the glove and the boot thing. That also works, but I'm just showing you another way. So with the +2 you could actually do this with the protect suffix and then try to do a Ashling for June unveil. So basically you try to remove the suffixes can't be changed and you get this unveil, avoid ailments. Then you could do shaper boot with avoid ailments 35, and then you can do a glove with synthesis implicit for avoid ailment. And the final was really interesting. I did a paw ring with avoid ailment. You can do a ring because in this version, when we swapped to Vitality, we had an extra socket, as I mentioned in the past, because of the being able to put lifetap in my main build on the trigger for this flesh offering Desecrate, so that it doesn't cost my mana because it's too much. We could actually take out an unset ring, and then you could run an extra implicit, so you could get avoid ailment there, which is really powerful, or I guess reduce duration if there's rings. This seems really strong, this version, but it cost an Enlighten 3, and it was the Awakener Orb helmet, which might sacrifice that life unless you multi-mod life, or you like craft life and you got the res, for example, somewhere else, the Fire Chaos. Just a bunch of examples there. And then, so this was Vitality and getting in the extra avoid ailments, which then our flasks become, instead of freeze and shock, we can become increased armor and increased evasion. And I think I also went a corrupted blood anima stone. And then I show now 3800, 300 regen, so we tons of regen. Our armor goes to 23,000 with the flask on, and our evasion 2500. our survivability with them on, 25 and 42 tank, and then 113,072. Like, these numbers are insane from where we were at, and that's because of the flask and not needing the ailments. Oh, it's pretty huge. Pretty huge. Getting that increased armor, increased evasion, how good evasion is with the blind and the dread banner. Yep. And because a while, is this one, or it was in the last one when we upgraded to the awakened gems in 97, you were able to switch to the better animate guardian with the garb of the ephemeral and the kingmaker, so you got the crit multi. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, you would upgrade then when you got the awakened melee phys and you have the intimidate is when you would switch to kingmaker and you could upgrade your animate guardian. You want the level 5 awakened melee phys though. It's pretty sick. So now I take the build a bit further. So we got the damage up to 10 million. The good armor, the good reses, the decent life, the 89 chaos. And it's still without awakened multistrike. Awakened multistrike will make a big difference, but it's a pretty big price tag, so I just left it out for now. This is pretty much when you would get Awaken Multi after. That would be the next upgrade. I would highly recommend it. It'd be a fat upgrade. And so there's not many differences, as you can see from the last one, but the main difference is that we got more damage through, we did better wands to show the wand upgrades. I just wanted to do a pure one of just a final one before the big upgrades, just to show that there's a bunch of other stuff you could do before you do like just straight up Maven items. So you have a multi for trigger, so you could automate the flesh offering Desecrate in your wand. So I put them in order: Desecrate, flesh offering, and weapon 1, and then you want to have enough mana to be able to cast it, so I didn't have to run lifetap here. And then we also have the other one where I multied, and it's minion damage, attack speed, so you'd have to have an open prefix for this. I just showed that, and we have the 100% avoid ailments in this with that stuff, and our tankiness 25, 72. Basically, to go to my version, you could switch this already, the Divine Life Flask, to my Taste of Hate that I use. Not Taste of Hate. I use a Forbidden Taste. This Forbidden Taste Quartz Flask. But I didn't put it here because I think that the Bleed Immune is really nice. And potentially, so like obviously I did a whole build update of what my build has compared to this. So it's like the Poison Immune, Bleed Immune. There was a bunch of stuff that I thought wasn't really necessary. You didn't need to go the aura effect to remove the Impale Rotting Claws from the large cluster. You don't need the stun immunity. There's like a lot of stuff that wasn't required, where some, like, the avoid ailments is huge, the damage is big, the tankiness is big, things like that I thought were high priority. And so I tried to make it like my version, and then an easier version of that. It didn't even have a Watcher's Eye to not force people to have to go get a Watcher's Eye. But then from that, obviously, you can add in all the big stuff that I have, the improvements. And then if you're specifically trying to take this to an AFK Blight, I recommend looking at the AFK T15 Blight video, the AFK T16 Blight video. And now this should be very helpful for a lot of people going through my Carrion Golems and trying to progress, and trying to start them, and when to start them, and how to build it in the beginning. And then it's not just a budget build. I scaled it all the way up, and I think what I did with the budget like this, the 98, and the cheaper version where it doesn't have the Maven items and all that shit, it was able to work. And you can get avoid ailments with a ring and not needing an unset ring, and then potentially not needing to get the crazy chest plate, or the crazy helmet, or the crazy boot, and you could get some of the power of it, most of the power of it, and still have the mana, still have the life, still have the tankiness, and still have decent damage, and not even awaken multi to show you. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. That is pretty big. Yeah, that's a lot. 200,000, 800,000 total. On 10 million. That's almost a million. That's almost 10% of the damage. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. Sorry if there was a little bit of rambling. This is a lot of stuff, obviously. It was confusing for myself even to go through it just because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you. I'm going to see you guys in the next episode, or I'll see you in today's stream. Bye!